All right, HVR110, week 5, lesson 1, part 2. Okay, seltzer. Hopefully I'm not breathing. Okay. Ah, pressed the wrong. There we go. All right, so I'm going to walk y'all through just a couple of these real quick as far as the simulations go, and then I'm going to have y'all take over. So I'll unmute you, and then just kind of communicate back and forth. If you want to do it in the chat, that's fine. If you want to just talk it out, that works as well. So just let me know. So I share screen. So this is the SimGauge simulation. If you do not have this, please email me and let me know that you don't. It should look something like this right here. That's what it's going to look like. Just email me saying I do not have that, and we'll make sure to get you a copy of it. Once you log in, you basically create a profile online, then you punch in the code that's in here, and that'll give you access to the 4.0 training simulation, which is awesome. I had it when I first started, it was only at 2.0, and this is within a year, it's gone to 4.0, and it's improved drastically. So I had it the other day for the first time in a while, and it was really, really cool to see it working. So we've got a couple of different things that we can practice on. One thing we'll do eventually is going to be soft skills and safety. We'll go over certain stuff like that. It can walk you through. It will tell you how to read a wiring diagram very, very well. And then as well, it'll talk you through motors, components, how series and parallel circuits work, all that kind of stuff. So it works really, really well. But what we're going to focus on is what we talked about today. So I'm going to take it very simply, very slow. We're going to go through the first one. And these are the training mode ones is what we're going to do, where it actually will tell you step by step what to do. The other ones are the challenge mode, where after you've gone through all the trainings, go to the challenges. It's going to be one of those, in this case, 21 scenarios. One of those 21 scenarios is going to be wrong with that system. Something's not working right. So you'll have it where you just have to be, with the challenge mode, it's not going to walk you through step by step. It's not going to tell you what's wrong with the system. Training mode, y'all see it's going to walk us through everything. So all right, so first things first, we'll do the first one, easy enough. Faulty indoor fan relay. This is a good one to practice on, to show y'all basically what is going to be wrong with that system and everything. All right, Chris is in. Cool. So you got where it's going to be the the first thing it'll show you is going to be like a phone, like you would have for work. In this case, an iPhone. Very nice. Most of the time, you're going to get cheapo Samsungs. At least in my experience, that's usually what everyone goes for because they're cheaper. They're more utility work kind of stuff. And if you're just sending text messages, you don't need an iPhone. The only benefit it might have is certain apps might be available or certain programs for service work, but most of the time it's just a text message like robot thing that shoots out, hey, here's the address and phone number and everything. So we got it where it tells us, here's the address, here's split AC, customer is not at home, but garage and house open to begin work. And they've got it where it's no cooling. That's the whole issue we're dealing with. So when you walk in, you can use your arrow keys or you can use WASD to walk through. That is really slow. At the bottom right, it's got it where it can just transport you to different areas. So walk, room, thermostat, outdoor unit, indoor unit, circuit breaker, service switch, outdoor fuse box, contactor. Well, we're going to start where we always want to start for any residential call. We want to go to our thermostat. And y'all will see this is pretty much going to set, it's going to be a similar set of steps that we do for pretty much every system. Every system we start with, we go to our control interface and make sure that's working properly. So set our system to cooling, and that should kick the AC on. So we go to our indoor unit. That's one of the things I just click down here. You can click onto the box, and again, this has got the procedure guide, so it's going to tell you exactly what to do. So start, go to thermostat, okay, turn it on to cooling. Is the indoor fan running? We would actually see on animation where this would be moving, and we have arrows showing movement. So no, that is not. Pretty outdoor fan and compressor running. So our outdoor unit. See our outdoor fans running. Let's check our compressor. This is part of the thing that's nice about it. As far as compressor feels warm to the touch, which is normal. It's running. Our fan's definitely running. We can see the heat coming off of it. See that fan control? I'm opening everything in this thing. All right. So are they running? Yes, it is cycling on. Use the multimeter on 24 volts AC. So over here on the left, we've got where we can go into tools. We've got all our tools listed right there. Easiest one, multimeter, set voltage. So we go to our indoor unit, saying to go to the 24 volts AC across the indoor fan relay. Indoor fan relay is going to be this guy right here. How do we know which wires are supposed to be 24 volts? Over here, we actually have a wiring diagram. And we can look at our low voltage. IFR's got a G, a green wire coming in, and a blue wire coming in. And those two should be 24 volts across that, because that should be across that 24 volt coil. So that'd be a load. We would read a difference between this side and this side. So I'm going to look for green and blue wire on this. So I've got, see, that's green with a white stripe. I've only got green and blue right there. So to the multimeter. And I'm reading 24 volts. So next question it had, am I reading 24 volts? Yes. Is 240 volts AC measured across the line side of the indoor fan relay at the red and black wire on the top? Again, we can look at our wiring diagram to confirm which wires are that, and we are reading 240. So yes, 240 measured at the load side. So what we're doing is we're checking 24 volts to see, is this coil getting energy? Is it allowed to turn on? All right, we get 24 volts. Yes, the coil is getting energy. It should be on. We check our voltage coming in from our line side. Yes, we are having 240. And then we're checking our voltage going out on our load side, and we're not getting 240. So if I have it where I've got a good coil, or I've got a good signal for my 24 volt coil, I've got good high voltage coming in, but no high voltage coming out, and the problem is my relay. I can replace that. And that's the cool thing about this. This will actually keep track of all the parts that you replace, all the components and everything like that, and how much it would cost that customer. So the last thing we'll do every time we're finished the simulation, close it up, go to the broom, sweep up behind ourselves. We always want to clean up after ourselves when we go to a house. We want to make it look like no tech was ever there. You know, you don't want to have someone come home. Oh, who was here today? You know, house looks like a wreck. House looks like weird, you know, a mess. We left these tracks all over the, you know, kitchen or whatever. So we'll go to our next scenario, and then I'm going to have you guys, after this one, I'm going to have y'all basically walk me through where you think we should go. So always, first thing we're doing, thermostat. All right. I'll have the procedure guide up for you so we can walk through them Is the indoor fan running? Indoor unit. Okay, fan. Again. Oh, I turned they didn't turn the thermostat on. No, I didn't. There we go. So, fan, got it on. Yep. Is the outdoor fan running? All right, so let's go to our outdoor unit. And yeah, that guy's definitely running. It's the compressor cycling. Compressor feels hot to the touch, which is not normal. So no, it is not cycling. Using outdoor fuse box, turn off power, off and on. So right there, off, turn on. Compressor feels hot to the touch. So no, it doesn't, it's not really starting up again. It's just staying hot. Double click on the dual run compressor capacitor. Yeah, so now we're going to check our capacitor. Isolate and discharge, it tells you exactly what to do. And then what you're going to do is you're going to check microfarads, which this guy right here. Check across. Brown. Nope. So I've got 20. I've got 7.5. So using the multimeter second to last setting, it's compressor capacitor with plus minus 2% microfarads rating. Yes. Across that brown wire here and the yellow wire here, we had 20 microfarads. So we have where at this point, if our capacitor is good, if our and our unit's getting voltage and everything's getting the signal and turning on, then we got a problem with our compressor. So we'll replace that. Wow, that's a cheap compressor, 350 bucks. Ain't nothing. I'm used to minimum $1,000, like bare minimum. That's just parts, let alone all the other stuff. So last things I'm going to do, go to that indoor unit, make sure to close it up. I'll go there, click my broom, sweep up after myself, and that's it. All right, so let's go to the next scenario. I'm going to mute myself.
Do y'all hear me? Well, I don't know if the other guys is here or not, so just go to the thermostat, first name. And where the other guys at?
I'm here. I don't know if you hear me. I'm here.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know if you ready for us to start.
Yeah, because he muted himself. Yeah, he said it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
He said go to the thermostat first.
Yeah. Turn it on. Is it?
It's on.
Okay. Now you go check the indoor fan.
So we can log on to this website and do this ourselves.
Yeah, you should. If you've got this little code thing, this will give you the info. That'll you just go on to you Google Cengage Brain. I'll type it in the chat real quick.
It's getting power, so go to the outdoor.
So
Yeah.
you gotta go to the outdoor unit, right?
Yeah, go to the outdoor unit.
I see how it's feeling. I'll take off the
It ain't spinning.
Yeah.
not getting no power.
You cut it.
But you have to see but you have to see if it's hot or not.
It don't even look like it's spinning, is it?
It ain't spinning. It ain't
No,
on.
he said I gotta grab your meter. But first turn the power off before you grab your meter. The circuit break, yeah, the main, whatever. Until you turn that off. And then you gotta test the
Capacitor.
Yeah.
capacity, you said?
Yeah.
See what the voltage is. Okay. It's supposed to be 24 volts, right?
No, 20.
No, 20 microfarads. I think that's right.
So there ain't nothing wrong with the capacitor.
Yeah, the capacitor is good. It should read 7.5 and 20 microfarads.
But could we check
Right.
the relay?
And that was the capacitor we just checked, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's that, the contact or the relay?
Yeah, contact the relay, they're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Check
one
that.
on bigger.
That's the contactor in this spot right here.
Check the contact.
Oh, what code did you say we need for this website?
I'll make myself.
Huh?
I'll show you guys. So this right here, this Engage Online, looks like this.
Yeah, were we all supposed to get one of them?
You are supposed to have one of these. If you do not have one, please email me immediately. I've got. We're doing a rush order for a bunch of them because we only had a handful. So.
Yeah, I don't have one. I'll just email.
Yeah, email me. You can email all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us have it.
Yeah, just email me. We can order them. We've got. They give us its physical copies because inside it'll have a unique code that you scratch away like a lottery
so they
or
got.
something, But
So you still want us to email you that we need them?
yes, please email me just so I've got a good list of because I've got y'all in my evening class. I think both need them.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely that, because that'd be more helpful than anything. That little,
Yeah.
Yeah, and this
pretty
works
cool.
on
like that.
this works on just about anything because you don't have to have you don't have to download anything. It's just off my web browser and just on Google Chrome. So I don't have to it doesn't take up space on the computer or anything like that. You just gotta have an internet connection. We tested the compressor, the capacitor. The capacitor has it where its microfarads are good on it. So that's looking good. And you guys are seeing contactor. What's our next thing? Oh my gosh, I keep clicking on those.
Did you already check the contact? Oh, you about to check it now?
Check it right now. Check and see. So we'll check for.
So each time it'll have a different problem wrong with it, a different issue.
Yep, different issue every time. Yeah.
But that's
So-
dope. They got do they have refrigeration ones too? Like the residential ones?
I don't think it's got.
I mean the commercial ones.
I'm pretty sure it's just air conditioning. It's got some commercial air conditioning, but I think it's mostly air conditioning, refrigeration, or air conditioning and heating. I don't know.
That's what's up. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love this thing. It's sweet. I mean, this literally is
Yeah, man.
exactly what you guys would do. So
Especially they give us a pictorial view too.
yeah,
You can see it.
Yeah, you can look. It'll give you a pictorial diagram
Oh wow.
of the whole, what everything is.
Yeah, that's dope.
So,
That's
I mean,
dope.
yeah, the more you all get into this thing, and especially once you get codes and everything, this whole thing is it's a blast. I love it. You've got wiring diagrams, you've got the visuals, you've got it where you can check your pressure temperature
And you got it.
charts, you can do that.
And you have to pay for this website?
No,
Or
this
is
is
like
this is part of y'all's tuition and everything. So this is one of your textbooks technically is what it's considered.
Damn, we should have been had that.
Yeah. It's usually used a lot in the later classes, especially when you're dealing with more.
You ain't check and see was it getting that oh, I thought you was finished. Right.
Yeah. So I checked. So what I've checked so far is I checked voltage. The high voltage coming in, I had 240, and the low voltage
That's good.
on the contactor, I've got 24. And then just like that relay earlier, I'm going to check the voltage coming out. So I've got 240 in, 240 out. I've got 24. Capacitor's good. So it's sending voltage to that fan motor. And that fan motor is also got a good capacity.
So it might be the compressor.
No, compressor's
So does a fan motor need to be replaced?
Yeah,
Replaced?
That's what I'm going to say is it's going to be a bad fan motor. So let's get that guy. Ooh, 290. That's it. There we go. And then close that. Close the top.
Cut the power back on.
Make sure to take out my tools. Turn the power back on. There we go.
Oh no, she pop up on me.
Yeah, this is neat. I like this.
Yeah. I just got my code working this last week, so now I'm going to be using this thing all the time.
Could you use it on your
that's
phone
cool.
or you got to use it on a PC?
You got to use it on
That was an
PC.
app.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't use it on your phone?
I don't think so. I think it might take up a lot of data on a phone kind of thing. As far as it might slow it down. It's basically running GoldenEye. I don't know. Modern phones, they can run like GTA on them, so who knows?
Yeah,
I'll have to do it. I'll trial test that today or something and see if I can figure it out.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to email you for that because that'd be a lot. That'd be real.
No, this is priority for me, and especially with NextMod and everything because I want to have it. I just learned because I'm learning this thing a lot more now. I can actually set up assignments in this, so I can email y'all and be like, hey, get on, do these simulations, and then it'll tell me, how you did them, and what star rating you got, and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're having trouble with one, I can know right away, oh, that took him, 30 minutes as opposed to the other ones took him 5. So I'm loving this thing. I'm trying to get more and more tools to make this online transition, still at school. I want to have you guys prepared. Like, I don't want to have it where it's just, I think we do this. It's like, oh man, come on, get it. So, I mean, especially right now, y'all are probably feeling it a lot as far as this whole everything shutting down and job security and stuff. I mean, HVAC guys, they're still out there every day.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, like that it's one of those essential things. I mean, especially with temperatures and stuff, you have it where different counties and states and stuff will have, and federal agencies will have certain standards for heating and air conditioning requirements based on outdoor temperatures. If it gets to a certain temperature, you have to require heat or supply heating. If it gets to a certain temperature, you have to supply cooling, depending on where it's at and everything like that. It was pretty cool. So
yeah, when you was talking about the air conditioner filters earlier, I was thinking about mine. I might need to get mine checked.
Yeah, my trick always, and I do it for customers too, is I'll have it where I tell them, if I'm changing the filter while I'm there, or if they ask me about the filters, the easiest trick always, have a Sharpie marker and then write the date you put the filter in on the filter, and you can track. If it's 3 months go by and the thing looks really bad, check it at 2 months, but you will always know exactly, okay, it's been 30 days, it's been 60 days, it's been 4 months. Oops. So
Right.
yeah, it's changing air filters is one of the easiest things to do, and it's one of the most essential for maintenance because a lack of airflow leads to tons of problems. You have it where for air conditioning, it can lead to your blower motor. Well, for air conditioning working, it's going to lead to your blower motor working harder than it needs to. And then for heating mode, your furnace will overheat. In cooling mode, your evaporator coil will not get cold enough, or will get too cold, and then it'll actually freeze over. And you can get icing. You can have a system completely covered in ice, stop working just because no one changed the filter in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into this next one. Oh yeah, I forgot this cool option. So there's another option as far as when you guys get into this where you can go as far as the step-by-step, and it can be you can have a linear question where it's just one after the other, or it can be a tree where you just kind of go yes, no, left and right. But again, first start of a call, where are we going to go every time?
Thermostat.
Thermostat. Get there. What are we going to do?
Make sure you turn it on. Then you go to the indoor fan.
Yeah. Go to indoor unit.
Make sure that's running.
Yeah. Indoor fan is running.
So outdoor.
Yes. Check that outdoor fan. Yeah, we got heat coming off the top. It's spinning good.
So then we should open up the compressor.
Check the compressor. Compressor field warm to the touch, normal.
Okay.
So let's see. Compressor running or cycling. Very high.
First of all, what was the problem with it?
Yeah, I didn't.
What was the problem with it?
Oh, let's check.
Did it say that like in the phone on the little phone?
It just says no cooling is all it ever does. It's because that's all anyone's ever going to know. They're not going to be able to tell you, oh,
True.
you got a bad compressor. That's why we're going out there. They just know GHD's bad, yeah. That's how it's always going to be with service calls. You're just going to know, oh, AC's not working.
Let's cut that power.
So right now what it's saying is the compressor feels warm to the touch, which is it's not running really. It should feel pretty hot if it's running. So it's
okay.
Yeah, so it's not cycling on or anything. So we'll just cut the power real quick and kick it back on. Check that compressor again. And it's feeling the same. It's definitely not starting. 1 second, guys. Can you not?
So after you cut the power back off, check the compactor. Not compactor, what it called? The capacitor.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dog being a butt.
I saw.
She's very angry. She's like, I want to go for a walk. I'm like, we're going. All right, so we're going to check to our compressor. Ooh, so we should be getting 20 microfarads there. We're only getting 5.
Okay.
But you got it on the wrong one.
Brown and yellow.
Oh, okay.
No, he's got it on the right one.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to tell, but yeah, it's brown over here and yellow. That's going to be your capacitor. Brown's going to be your common.
I got you. I thought it was on the back one. My fault.
Yeah, it's tough.
Look like
I know.
Yeah.
Now she's just gnawing on my hand. That's cool. So as soon as you see it where a capacitor is not at the right microfarad rating, it's not actually doing what it says it's rated for. Petunia. that immediately lets you know that you've got a bad capacitor. So we'll go ahead. If it's got
Okay.
you're seeing a reading that's wrong, it should be 20 instead of 5. You just go ahead and replace it. It's a quick, easy repair, a capacitor. It's a very common one to come across because so condenser fan motor and the compressor, the outdoor unit, are both big motors, especially that compressor. That's a massive motor for the system. And because it's got such a big motor, it's going to need a lot of power at startup. And the extra power is going to be making it so that that capacitor has more energy that it needs to kick on and keep that motor running. In residential systems, the main thing you'll see a lot of times is not just a run capacitor. You will see just a run capacitor as opposed to a run and a start capacitor. If you have both a run and a start capacitor, the system starts up easier and is more efficient, and you have the power of that energy, that wear and tear is spread across 2 components instead of just one. So, so we'll go ahead and go to the next one. This might be able to get 1 or 2 more in still. Let's see how this goes. So I'll let you guys go ahead and let me know. I'm going to mute myself because the dog is barking. So.
Thermostat.
Yeah. Indoor fan. Indoor fan.
Outdoor fan.
That's good.
Outdoor fan. Fan motor.
Did he touch it?
No. Gotta turn the power off. Okay. Let's check the component. Let's check that out.
You gotta clean that debris off first.
Oh yeah, on the back, the
Okay,
leaves.
okay.
Clean that.
What was the problem? Oh well.
You know they ain't gonna tell you. It's just gonna be like no AC.
Yeah, that's another one that's really common is a no cooling call where literally, and now it might not be so obvious where it's a pile of leaves on the side of it, but an outdoor coil becoming covered with leaves or covered with debris over time, what it does is it's insulating it. It basically coats it in an insulation and stops it from having that heat transfer like it should across that refrigerant, with the aluminum and copper and everything. Because of that, that will have it where, yes, it'll cool for a while, but once the temperature gets up and up higher and higher, closer to the mid-80s, closer to the 90s, you'll see it where the house just kind of stays humid. It might cool down a little bit, but it's like cool and wet. Or it might just be, it might not do it at all. You know, it might be, why is it that the thermostat is always 3 degrees higher than what I set it to? You know, and that's when you're going to get those no cooling calls for these systems and everything like that.
Okay.
Now the
So
question is,
sometimes that's the only issue. Is the
Yeah.
debris?
Yeah, I've had it before. And we have chemical cleaners we can use. You spray down the whole coil with this cleaner, and it acts like kind of it foams up like hydrogen peroxide does. When it foams up, it actually it pushes basically all the dirt, all the debris, and everything out of this stuff. And I would have customers come out when I would take care of it, when I washed the unit down, because it was so funny to watch their reactions, and they would be like, "Oh, this is worth the $175 so much," because you get that stuff, it foams out on every piece of dirt. It starts just foaming up like crazy, and
you said all you use is hydrogen peroxide?
it's not it's not actually hydrogen peroxide, but it's a basic cleaner. So acids and bases. This one is a base.
Oh, okay.
So it's a very, very powerful cleaner. You get it on your skin, you have to rinse it off for like a minute because it leaves an oily residue and actually burns really badly. So this is one of those things you just got to be very careful with, but it's very common to be used. I've had it get on my skin before. I've had it get in the back of my throat. It is not fun.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was the worst day. That was the worst.
How did that happen?
So I had like a big deck sprayer is what I filled it. Yeah, I filled a whole jug and then I had, pump it up and then just spraying it. I'm not paying attention to how low it was getting. The deck sprayer got really low. It started spritzing and foaming and my mouth was just open because I was breathing and I was like, what? And then one little drop. And so got to the back of my throat. But the trick with it is you just flush it out. So luckily I was outside. I go take the hose. They had a hose attachment. I open it and just sprayed it. Kept my mouth open and just flushed the back of my throat out basically. Looked like a crazy person. Thankfully the customer did not see me, but I felt really bad.
Too many questions.
Yeah, to be like, so what happened earlier? Don't worry about it. Kind of by accident. It's fine. Yeah, so that was one of those moments. But I mean, you have it where I've had units that are like dark gray and black as far as the coils and the fins and everything like that. And I do one of these cleanings, and then it's shiny, brand new aluminum, like it just came out of the box. And people are like, wait, that's what it looked like when it got installed. I'm like, that's what it should look like all the time. And they're like, oh, I'm like, yeah. So let's get this done on a more regular basis. And if they weren't out there with me because, weather or whatever, they're busy, I would always take before and after pictures. Take before and after pictures of these coils because they would be like, oh yeah, clean the coil, whatever that does. And then you show them and you're like, okay, so keep in mind the coils, all right, compressor's the heart, that's what keeps the refrigerant moving, all right? But the coils are the lungs and they keep the refrigerant actually doing and functioning. It's like the heart. If it didn't have the lungs, the blood can't get oxygen. If we have it where our heart's pumping, but it can't breathe, that refrigerant's just going to stay and it's just going to cycle over and over until it overpressurizes the system. And it can also damage your unit. And it's less energy efficient when it's all dirty like that. So, it's like a smoker can't, do as good of a job being a marathon runner as someone who doesn't, So basically that's the whole idea with this. But coil cleanings, they're one of the most common maintenance things. I would say that I had it where I had a standard package pretty much every summer for maintenance for people. I would charge them like $500. I'd give them a new contactor, capacitor, and a coil cleaning on their indoor and outdoor coil. And that's a steal because usually I would usually do each one of those total together would be about $700 worth of work. So I'd knock it down $200 because I'm like, hey, it's start of the season. Let's get this done. Let's get you, prepped and ready and energy efficient, and your summer is going to be a blast, and you're not going to have to worry about 4th of July weekend. Well, I hope the AC holds up this summer. No, it's going to be running at its best. So, it's just different stuff like that you all will run into. That you'll find what you like to do. You'll find things that you're quick at, you're good at, and that really pay off. That even with a short amount of work time or something like that. Because replacing motors can be a little bit of a pain sometimes and stuff like that, but it's really just that standard maintenance that needs to be done that gets ignored so often that leads to so many problems with HVAC systems, whether it's residential or commercial. It just leads to issues. And it's staying on top of that stuff, it just makes it easy. So yeah, I did that. That was number one thing I probably did in the summertime was replace a capacitor. Number two, number one thing as far as optional maintenance that I got done was definitely coil cleanings. That was something that was never, you have to get one today. I always, hey, here's the benefits of it. I'm going to let you know. You make the best decision based on my information, And, if they agreed to a coil cleaning, I did it, took care of it. It was just worked really well. But yeah, that stuff is no joke. It's you can only buy it at like HVAC supply houses and everything. It's very, very toxic chemical. So it's not toxic. It neutralizes once you rinse it down with water. It dilutes it enough that it actually becomes safe. So like if people have questions about like, oh, what if my dogs are in the backyard, where this cleaner is going to be running off in and stuff like that, it's fine. It's not going to be an issue. You just got to rinse it off enough. That's the main thing. But the water coming out of it looks like coffee. That's the other thing. You spray in fresh water and out coming draining out of the system is just thick jet black coffee. All right, so I'm going to try and get these codes for y'all. That way that can be taken care of, as soon as possible. But again, email me just so I've got a log. Basically, I'm building a whole list. So that way I can send it to Mr. Holloway right away.